I was more ready to do other shit like produce and try to get people into other positions after because of the people I had met in my travels, which was Ace, which was G Rap, which was all the people at Cold Chillin'. I got a chance to meet a lot of them people just by hanging around Ace. So in turn, what I did was let Norm show me how to produce. You know how he started constructing beats. And once I learned how to work on one machine, the best of my ability, I start piecing together, beats. I'm not even gonna call them tracks because I call tracks something different. Tracks is choruses and layouts and segment changes. It's a little bit
Mhm.
different. I was making beats. So
Right.
I made my first group of beats, and I started producing for my first artist, which was Sir Essence Don out of Flatbush. He was out of Flatbush too. He was like, to me, not to put a who better on it, but if I had to take a two, like if it was like special ed and this person, they would be neck and neck. It's just the fact that S didn't get the platform like Ed.
Okay.
That would be the difference. And then S is not West Indian either. So, but as far as rhyme flow and style and different shit and just whatever, we made it into the Unsigned Hype because of the demos that I had recorded with him. So we made it in Unsigned Hype. I guess that was like 90, 91, 92, early. And when the Source barely even had, I think we was in Unsigned Hype when the fucking Source magazine wasn't even in color yet.
Wow.
That shit might not even been
They had
right.
just transitioned from the newsletter, right?
Exactly. It could have been that early. That had to have been between like 90 and 92
Wow.
because their first three issues was in black and white.
Right.
So I think we came in the tail end maybe of within the first 10 to 15 issues of the Source magazine.
Wow. That's crazy.
When that Unsigned Hype dropped, what kind of opportunities presented themselves for you?
Well, basically, that shit just gave me a free run in the middle of the Source magazine. And what I mean by that is I met everybody at the Source and I hung out with them one by one. Some more than others, but I got attached to basically everybody up there. All the big name people. Chimondu, rest in peace. Chimondu, come on, man. Some of the most iconic photos that you can, or any photo, basically that was a Source magazine photo that we looked at back in those times that we thought was iconic, from the big photo to the Tupac photo to whatever photo. He took that shit. You understand? So me being able to be around these dudes and them accept me, because media and artists don't really get it. They don't really get along like that. Like, because a lot of, in the sense of, it may be somebody that wrote a story about an artist and said some shit that they might not like, or you understand, it may expose some shit that they might not have want to expose. So at these times here, this was like cutting edge shit that an artist could be up at a publication the way I was, like walking around like I worked there, bro. Like dead ass. Like I would be in Maddie C's office, chilling in Maddie C's office playing beat tapes, 100-minute beat tapes. 100-minute. Back in the days, I used to record on the Denon tapes. Denon. Denon. They had 100-minute tape.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't like the whole quarter 100-minute tapes because the tapes, the minutes go up, the tape gets thinner. So right, 30 to 60 to 75, because you got to remember, Maxell had 60-minute. They even had 75-minute. Then they had 100-minute. Denon was the only 100-minute tape that didn't pop like that. So I would use that shit. That would be because that was like I think it was some German shit. I'm not really sure, but those didn't pop like if I used 100-minute Maxell or 100-minute TDK. So
Right.
I know for a fact I was using 100-minute tapes up at Matty C's office, and we'd just be sitting up there listening to shit, and then we'll go on the motherfucking staircase and smoke weed with half of the staff, including Dave Mays, John Schechter. You got to understand the 6 degrees of separation, because John Schechter is later now the owner of Game Records, which I put out my first single. That was the first record on Game. You understand? So all those relationships came from the source. Unbeknownst to me, I didn't know that this was going to happen like this, that I was going to forge friendships and relationships with people that later on that seen me grow from that time, from the Unsigned Hype to where I was with producing for this person and that person, to now you got a record label and you want me to be your first artist on your record label. Shout out to John Schechter, Shecky Green, you know, making me the first artist on that label on Game. And you got to think about the artists that came behind me. I let it off, but look what was right behind me. Eminem, Royce 5'9", Sean Price, Thurston Howard III. You understand? Thurston, yo, all that shit followed. And I was the motherfucking springboard for all of it.
Right.
You understand? I'm not gonna say nobody would have looked at Game if it wasn't for Flows Is Tight, but Flows Is Tight was a damn good fucking record to lead your label off with.
Mm-hmm.
To set your label off with a record like that,
right?
That made other people. I think that made other people be more interested in wanting to work at Game.
What's up, y'all? This is the legendary DJ Frankie Cutlass, Mr. Puerto Rico, and you tune in to Changing of the Hip Hop Guard. Let's go.